The movie begins with Do Il-Chool, a young student who is failing in school and addicted to gambling. Even though he rarely studies and keeps getting bad grades, he has a natural talent for gambling. Because of this, some people even call him Tazza, a name used for professional gamblers. One night, his mother visits him at his apartment. She's worried about his future and urges him to focus on his studies and upcoming exams. Il-Chul agrees, but not very convincingly. The next day, he tries to pay attention in class, but ends up falling asleep and thinking only about gambling. After one of his gambling sessions, Il-Chul meets a beautiful woman named Madonna. She seems troubled, and during their conversation, she warns him to stop gambling and focus on his studies. She even tells him that he's not as talented as he thinks. Il-Chul doesn't take it well. He brags about his skills and insists she's underestimating him. Suddenly, Madonna notices something outside and quickly leaves. Curious, Il-Chul follows her and sees a man grab her arm and force her into a car before driving off. This encounter stays on Il-Chul's mind, and he can't stop thinking about her. The next day, while riding his bicycle home after gambling, Il-Chul almost gets hit by a car and falls. Inside the car, he sees Madonna again. The driver steps out and starts yelling at him, and it turns out he's Magui, a legendary gambler known as the Demon. As they argue, Madonna quietly gets out of the car and leaves. Magui continues to mock Il-Chul, looking down on him and his skills. Angered by this, Il-Chul challenges Magui to a one-on-one poker game. Magui bets $10,000 for the damage to his car, while Il-Chul matches the amount for his broken bicycle. On top of that, Il-Chul adds a personal bet. If he wins, he gets to take Madonna on a date. Magui accepts, and the game begins, with Madonna acting as the dealer. At first, Il-Chul is confident and goes all in, believing he's going to win, but things quickly turn against him. He starts losing. Desperate, he takes out a loan to keep playing and demands a rematch. But the more he plays, the more he loses. Madonna tries to stop him, warning him to quit, but Il-Chul refuses to listen. In the end, he loses everything. A few days later, debt collectors start beating him because he can't repay what he owes. When they threaten to cut off his fingers, a mysterious man with long hair suddenly appears. The man steps in and pays off all of Il-Chul's debts. He introduces himself as One-Eyed Jack, another legendary gambler. Now feeling indebted, Il-Chul promises to pay him back, but Jack tells him something surprising. He knew Il-Chul's father, One Ear, who was also a legendary gambler. Jack explains that he once owed Il-Chul's father, so there's no need to repay him. As Il-Chul is about to leave, Jack warns him that his match with Magui might have been a trap set by people he knows. Later that night, Il-Chul goes back to the gambling place, but it's completely empty. That's when he realizes Jack was right. The next day, Il-Chul goes to see Jack again and asks him to become his mentor. But Jack refuses, telling him to quit gambling before he ends up losing everything like so many others. Still, Il-Chul insists that he has both the talent and the luck, just like his father. Jack then challenges him to prove it. Il-Chul steps up and wins a game of roulette, showing his skills. This impresses Jack, who finally smiles and decides to give him a chance. He invites Il-Chul to join his crew, known as the One-Eyed Team, as part of a plan to trick a wealthy businessman through poker. Jack begins gathering his team, sending each member a Jack card as a signal. The next day, everyone meets at his hideout. There, Il-Chul meets the rest of the crew. Kachi, a smooth-talking con man and card dealer. Quan, a skilled and experienced trickster. And Young Mi, a beautiful thief who specializes in deception. Together, they begin their plan to scam a rich businessman named Mool, who recently became very successful. First, Kachi and Young Mi approach Mool and lure him into a poker game. They beat him easily and mock his poor skills, bruising his pride. That's when Quan and Il-Chul step in, pretending to be professional gamblers hired by Mool to help him win. With their help, Mool starts winning games against Kachi and Young Mi, but it's all part of the plan. They're slowly building his confidence and pulling him deeper into the trap. The next step is to get him to bet bigger. Kachi challenges Mool to another game, this time with a massive bet of $5 million. Feeling confident, Mool agrees without hesitation. During the game, the team secretly manipulates the cards, pushing Mool to go all in. In the end, Kachi and Young Mi win everything, taking his money without him even realizing he was cheated. Even after losing, Mool becomes obsessed and wants to keep playing. He asks Il-Chool and Quan to stay by his side. Not long after, a car arrives and a woman steps out. It's Madonna. Seeing her again, Il-Chool can't take his eyes off her. Curious, he asks Mool about her. Mool explains that she's his business partner, but also hints that he plans to trick her as well. Later, Il-Chool goes to Madonna's room to warn her. He tells her to stay away from Mool, revealing that he and his team are actually planning to scam him. But Il-Chool lets his guard down. Swayed by Madonna's beauty, he ends up revealing too much about the plan. Madonna betrays him. She tells everything to Mool. When Il-Chool wakes up, it's already too late. Mool and his men are in the room, and he's been taken hostage. Furious after being tricked, Mool sets out to hunt down Jack's team. His men brutally beat Il-Chool and manage to capture Kakashi, while Quan and Young Mi barely escape. As Il-Chool is being taken away, Jack suddenly appears and saves him. The next day, Il-Chool wakes up in a room with the remaining team members. Filled with guilt, he apologizes for betraying them by revealing their plan to Madonna. Jack responds by telling him a painful story. He admits that he once betrayed Il-Chool's father, One Ear, a mistake that led to his death at the hands of Magui, the demon. Jack says that betrayal is unforgivable and that Il-Chool will have to live with that regret, just like he does. Hearing this, Il-Chool quietly leaves the team. Meanwhile, Jack goes back to Mool's place to rescue Kachi. Months pass. Il-Chool is back to gambling on his own when Kachi suddenly finds him. He brings terrible news. Jack is dead. Magui killed him when he tried to save Kachi. Driven by guilt and a desire for revenge for both Jack and his father, Il-Chool returns to Mool's place. He confronts Mool and Magui and challenges them to one final poker game. When he faces Magui, Il-Chool raises the stakes to the extreme. He bets his life. Whoever loses will die. Magui accepts without hesitation, confident after defeating both Jack and Il-Chool in the past. The night before the game, Madonna secretly visits Il-Chool. She asks him to help her steal the money and run away. At first, Il-Chool hesitates. She has already betrayed him twice. Madonna insists that he can't win. She reveals that she, Mool, and Magui have been working together all along, but she also admits that she doesn't want Magui to win because he abused her when she was younger. Il-Chool doesn't trust her. He asks why he should believe anything she says. Madonna replies that if he can't trust her, he should at least trust the money she plans to steal. But Il-Chool has his own plan. When Madonna follows him, it's revealed that he has secretly teamed up with Mool instead. He exposes Madonna's plan to betray them. With no other choice, Madonna agrees to cooperate with Il-Chool and Mool to take down Magui and keep the money for themselves. The next day, the final game begins. This time, the stakes are deadly. Each player is chained to a barrel. Whoever loses will be dragged underwater and drowned. During the game, Il-Chool asks Magui why he killed his father. Magui calmly explains that One Ear had stolen money from him and hid it. Ruining Il-Chool in their earlier match was his way of getting revenge. As tension rises, Madonna secretly switches the cards in Il-Chool's favor while Mool distracts Magui. Then Il-Chool pushes things further, going all in and provoking Magui to do the same. Confident, Magui matches the bet, while Madonna and Mool stay out of it on purpose. When the cards are finally revealed, Magui bursts into laughter, convinced he has won once again. In the end, the card Madonna secretly switched changes everything. Il-Chool wins the game. As Magui loses, the chain tied to his leg tightens and starts pulling him into the water. He struggles and manages to grab the edge of the pool, trying to save himself. But Madonna steps in. She frees herself and kicks his hands away, forcing him to drown. As she watches him die, memories of the pain he caused her come rushing back. Without saying a word, she leaves the island, while everyone else watches in shock. After Ma Gui's death, Mool takes all the money, both Ma Gui's and Madonna's, and offers Il-Chool a ride home. But on the way, the car suddenly stops in a quiet, isolated area. Mool turns to Il-Chool and tells him to get out and leave the money behind if he wants to live, betraying their deal. But things take another turn. The driver suddenly pulls out a knife. He's not on Mool's side. It turns out he and Il-Chool had already made a secret deal to split the money between themselves. Together, they kill Mool and dump his body into a nearby lake. After that, they go their separate ways, each taking their share of the money. A few days later, Il-Chool sends bags of money along with a jack card to his former teammates, trying to make up for his past betrayal. He then returns to his mother's home and tells her that he passed his exam, making her happy. Later, his mother tells him a story about his father. She reveals that before he died, his father had left behind some money for him. That's when Il-Chool realizes the truth. The money his father left was the same money he had stolen from Ma Gui. In the end, Il-Chool chooses a different path. He leaves the gambling world behind and starts living a normal life, working as a civil servant. He tries his best to stay away from gambling, remembering Jack's warning about losing everything. Because in the end, the world of gambling is full of lies, betrayal, and regret, and those who get lost in it often lose everything to their own greed. And this is how our story ended. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe and press the like button. Thank you for watching.